Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Not That Complicated. It's Tasia.
Jamitra.
And Morgan.
Yes.
We back up in this thing.
Oh,
period.
As
Back
we say
up
we
in
would
it.
be.
Exactly. So, if you can't tell by the title, this week we're going to be talking about the Black community. And we're not talking about being Black in America. No, we're talking about the Black community and the things that we face within our own community because it needs to be said. But first, before we get into such a heavy topic, before we dive right in like Trey Songz, you know how we like to do over here. We like to start off with the lows and the highs of the week. Then we're going to go into our pop culture / current event. And lastly, Jamisha says she's trying to bring back speed swiping. So
No.
she's going to switch it up, and we'll let her explain that when we get there. She's doing something a little different.
Okay.
Since she wanted to get back to the dating scene, we're going to let her have control of that.
But that's just a suggestion.
Yeah, we'll let her.
I said we should get to speed messaging, but that's just a suggestion.
That's pretty much what I said.
Pretty okay. Yeah. So, lows and highs of the week. Who wants to start off with their low?
Morgan, the late girl.
Yeah.
They don't know that. Anyway. Low of the week. Honestly, I can say I did not have a low this week. I had a really great week last week.
It's good.
Shout out to God. We love to see it. Period.
Snaps.
He did that.
And did.
Milo, I was just annoyed for 3 days this week, starting on Wednesday. And I don't know what was wrong. I don't know why. I didn't want anybody talking to me. I just was I was at work on Wednesday, and then it just came over me. And I pretty much was stop talking to me, to everybody. Oh. And so then I stopped talking to everybody. They were like, I want to say shit. Yes. They were like, you want to go get lunch? And I was like, oh no, I'm okay. I don't know. I just did not want to be around. It came, and it lasted for 3 days. It lasted for a long time.
Maybe one of the headsets dealing with communication was in a retrograde.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. My low was that the 3-day weekend simply was not enough, and I am starting a petition to have 4-day work weeks because simply can't do it.
I'm on.
If we're feeling jazzy, we can do 3-day work weeks.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. I pretty much work 3 days a week right now, and I stand for this. This is what I like. This is exactly what I needed in my life.
Exactly. I definitely feel like that's the way. We no longer need these 5-day work weeks. The only reason why it was created was because of Henry Ford and his damn cars. No one's really doing those kind of jobs anymore. So 3 days it is.
America don't like us like that to change it.
Honestly.
Maybe, I don't think in this generation. I feel like it's possible, but I don't know for us. Maybe our grandkids.
We have to shake some tables. All right. So what are you guys' highs of the last week?
So my high of the week was seeing Tasia. And because I haven't seen Tasia in over a year, and we also met up with our mutual friend Ashton, and I was just happy to be able to relive my Baton Rouge college life because that was the first time I was in Baton Rouge since graduation where I was driving my own car, I was driving myself, in control of my day. Usually when I'm there, it's to visit my uncle's church and then come back home. So just having that day and that time, plus we've been in quarantine, so social life has been at a real -10. So not that I was all that social to begin with, but when it's with people I already know and my friends, I do miss that. So that was great. That'll probably hold me over for the rest of the year because I think that's
jeez.
But here's the thing, if you honestly think about it, when is the next time I'm gonna really be chilling with people like that?
True.
This year.
True.
I just don't see it. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, my high is something that hasn't even happened yet. I haven't been to the orthodontist since March. I've had these same pair of braces on. I don't even know what to call them, but the same rubber bands, same all of that since March. But tomorrow, early in the morning.
A change is
First
gonna come.
thing, I am the first one. 8:00 appointment. That will change. I'm just gonna have a whole new lease on life.
Yes.
And these braces are gonna get redone. I'm probably gonna get a color this time because right now I just have silver.
Ooh, little razzle.
You should do a light blue.
Yeah, I like pink and I like the blue. It depends because I normally don't get color because I be looking like a little kid. Like, especially when I wear my hair curly, I be looking like a 10-year-old. So that's why I was like, I just stick to silver. But I deserve a color for having these staleness in my mouth for so long.
I agree.
You don't know that my mouth.
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like you deserve. Like, I'm happy for you because that sucks to have the same braces in for that long. The most you go during regular times is what, like 2 months?
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally feel you on that. My high of the week was, I actually have two. One relates to Morgan's. I got to see my friends. It was really great. I didn't realize how much I needed God damn socialization until it happened. And we were just on a roll. We were just like talking for hours and it was just so beautiful. And before anybody goes crazy, like, oh my God, you guys are spreading COVID. One, I haven't been anywhere outside of my apartment other to go to the grocery store, and I wear a mask at all times. I don't play that. And I know Morgan, she ain't been nowhere outside of her house. She barely was going to get groceries. And I know the same thing for Ashton. The last time she even was anywhere outside of Baton Rouge was like weeks ago. She went to go see her family. So those are the reasons why I was okay with seeing them. And then my other high was that I got a raise at work. You know, just those kind of things. My whole deal is like words of affirmation. So like when people give you those kind of things, I'm just like, oh, thank you. I mean, I knew I was doing a good job, but like, thanks for acknowledging that and giving me a little something to show that I was doing a good job. So that will be hitting on my next check. And I'm ready.
Can I have some money?
Can you spare me a couple coins, please?
No, not coins. Not coins.
Real rich girl.
I need the bills, please.
Okay, give me $1.
You could at least catch my phone bill or something.
Right.
Whoa.
That's only $50.
I think that's my least expensive bill.
Your phone bill's only $50?
Yeah. 50.
Who you?
I have AT&T. How much is y'all?
Mine's $116 and I got AT&T.
You have unlimited?
What plan you got?
Yes. I
have unlimited.
I make it a discount because my mom's a teacher. You know, they be giving government employees discounts or something.
Probably
but
so.
Yeah, I only pay $50.
That's how much my internet bill costs. $52.
No, I don't pay it.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I could smooth like $130, but I haven't applied my discount that I can apply through somebody. So after that, it'll probably be like $100.
I'm about to play with her. If you know, you know. Okay, on to the next segment. Pop culture / current events. What are some things that you guys want to pull out of the week that you want to chit chat about?
We want to chit chat about? Well, let's see. Jamisha, do you have one pulled up already?
Yes. The first one, mine is a joke. Okay. So y'all remember when Yandy from Love and Hip Hop was wearing that Life of a Wife shirt, and she was like putting her hand in the camera and doing all of that. Well, her and Mendeecees are back. You know, he's fresh out. And I'm going to put this up on the screen if you watch it on YouTube. But they have this retired hot boy and retired hot girl shirt.
Oh my gosh, they're so old.
We're not even going to get on the belt loops, but okay.
The belt is not in the belts
again. Or the lack of looping. I'll say that.
Oh my gosh.
I was thinking maybe I thought it was a purse, but then everybody
if it's a belt bag, okay, yeah. But I'm not completely sure and I don't trust it.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That's what I thought it was at first because I obviously saw it wasn't in any of the loops, and I was like, she's not that dumb, but she might be. She might be.
Might just be.
So I don't know who in her family got a Cricut and decided they're going to be t-shirt makers, but I need them to stop enabling her because I know people are not out here just making these kind of shirts. I'm pretty sure she's 40 now. She needs to not do that.
And she thinks it's cute. Retired hot girl, retired hot boy. Please leave that to the
Leave that
Gen
to
Zers.
Teenagers.
Okay?
I don't even
Please.
know somebody
Not
might
even
ever
us.
wear that.
I would not. I would not.
No.
That's
That's
telling.
No.
mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And then my
Yeah,
other
she needs
one,
to not.
right? She needs not do that. She's a fucking joke. And then my other one, I'll say the other one later because it has to do with the Black community stuff. So whoever can go next.
Do you have yours up?
I would like to talk about the fact that Kanye West is trying to run for the president of the United States of America.
I can't stand this nigger.
It just doesn't make sense. I'm trying to figure out, it seems as if, I know we're already a joke and our government is already a joke, but the fact that we're moving away from actual politicians winning offices, like the fact that our current president has never, ever held any political offices, has no experience. His only experience is in a boardroom. Mm-hmm. So for me, that's alarming. And when it came down to like the election and like people were like so anti-Hillary, like I don't care about, everyone has their own opinion on who they want to be president. But if you just look at the facts, like
the qualifications
did not add up. And the fact that y'all really let this man, who is a businessman with so many issues, okay, like beyond the fact that you're not qualified to be president, you're also like misogynistic and predatory, and you have real narcissistic issues. Like, it's just so much. And y'all was mad over some emails for Hillary. Where is the equality?
And they don't even be talking about the emails to this day.
Where is the equality? Like, and so now he's opened the door for people who have no experience to feel like, well, if he can, I can do it too. And I don't want this to become a trend. And I feel like it is. Because Kanye, sir.
We don't want it.
Sir.
We don't want it.
Just like we didn't want his gospel music. We do not want this.
We don't want this. Exactly. And I think the only reason why he's doing this is because he's probably coming out with music. Just like his last little publicity stunt where he said he donated all this money or whatever he did for somebody who recently was killed by the police. He did something for them, their family. I forgot what it was.
George Floyd.
And then a week later, he comes out with these shoes. Are Gap or something? Kanye and Gap. Yeah. Like, my nigga, you're not slick.
Yeah, he had them prison
shoes. He came up with
them
ugly shoes. Yes, the prison shoes and
slippers.
The Gap and Kanye collaboration. Like, we do not think we can see what you're doing. We see it. We see it. Just like y'all were so quick to say Kamala was pandering Black people. This nigga's been pandering Black people for the longest. So don't even give him, just ignore him, please. Please do not vote for this man. I don't even care if y'all still support him. Do not vote for this man. I don't see why someone would support him because he said slavery was a choice, but that's another topic for another day. That's my main issue with the Naker. But
he said a lot of stuff that we're just like, okay.
Okay, Kanye. Whatever floats your boat. I actually have two. One is pop culture related, and the other one is more current event. The first one is Mr. August Alsina and
I was hoping somebody said that
Smiths.
One.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
What? Listen, that man got on camera and said he would be okay with dying right now
Yes.
God can strike him dead because he felt a love that was out of this world. And I was like,
I
huh?
don't even.
Oh.
You
But
felt a
what-
love out of this world with a married woman. I know about polygamy and all of that, but you can't be in a polygamous relationship when you're not doing any of the polygamy. That can't work. August wasn't being polygamous, so that wasn't gonna work from the very beginning.
I guess that's why they technically, Will and Jada had the open relationship. August wasn't necessarily. I guess that's where the difference comes into play. Open
Yeah, that's what I was
relationships
like.
versus polygamy.
Okay. Okay, well, open relationship, not polygamy. I don't really. He wasn't in an open relationship still. Even then, August was not in an open relationship. She should have got
He was your
somebody.
third.
I need some clarity.
No.
because Denying August saying he has Will's blessing. She said she go get at her red table and heal herself. I want to see it.
She needs to because
We know she lying.
Yeah, her and Will are lying because they've been said they are only in a life partnership. They're not married for love and romanticism. They're married for the looks, for the financial gain, for the company, just for friendship.
Exactly.
They're not married for like actually being in love with one another romantically like that. They already said that. So we already knew that. However,
comma.
August got up there with his Keisha Cole hair.
Yes.
He came out with a fresh twist out and said, y'all can hear me today.
And he stood 10 toes down on what he said.
Who did his hair color like that?
Hideous.
He got bored in quarantine.
He did it himself.
It was bad. He needs to not.
I don't know. But what I really think happened, because August was like, oh, he told them that the interview was coming out. They already knew about it, but then when it came out, they're all like, oh, that ain't happened. That's a lie. That's a lie. I think they had to kind of try to do damage control because then people started calling Jada a predator. Do y'all think she's a predator? Do y'all think that?
I could see why I understand why people say that. Because if you think about it, it could be very, and then I think it was more so the way they framed their whole relationship. They were like making it seem like they took him in as another child. And he was going on family vacations. They were like, family, he was like saying, I love my bros and sister. It was just a lot going on. And then it comes out that, oh, she was sitting on the dick. Oh, I thought y'all was going on family vacation. Right. I think that's where the predatory kind of stuff comes in, because it's like.
And I saw how they were saying how he was going through a lot of things with his health, and then his childhood background, and then all of it. So I was just like,
he's definitely been through a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yes,
he has.
So I could see it, but I wouldn't necessarily say like the premise of their relationship is predatory, but I could definitely understand how someone would think that. Now, I could see maybe he came to her for one thing and left with something else. But I could also see where it could have been like completely mutual, consensual.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It was absolutely consensual and mutual.
Yeah, but also like mutual. Like I feel like it could have been they both had feelings, but it just took something, a little nudge.
Yeah.
For the boat to rock.
I don't think Jada don't have feelings for him like that. She does not like him like that.
I don't think the way he feels about her
is reciprocated at all.
I don't think that. Because if my man goes on and talks about how he could die right now and he's satisfied, and I come out the next day and be like, this never happened.
It's all a hoax. It's a lie.
That is embarrassing.
Extremely embarrassing.
I would be hiding.
Yeah, no.
Embarrassing.
Poor guy. I feel bad for him. And then the last one that I want to just this is like a public service announcement, PSA. Okay. Masks need to be mandatory because you niggas ain't wearing them, and I'm sick and tired of it. Okay. I'm tired of this going around this political tape of, oh my God, our dumb president want to be like, leave it up to the states, leave it up to individual governments. That is dumb.
No.
That's stupid. That's why we have federal government to enforce certain laws or certain things, because this ain't working. They need to be mandatory. Everybody needs to wear the damn mask. And I don't want to hear, you're infringing upon my rights. Because when we was talking about being sexually abused, everybody was, y'all wanted to be against the whole my body, all of that, but now you want to be like, my body, my choice over a damn mask. And I just want to know, so you do understand what my body, my choice means. You just hate women.
Yeah.
Got it. Wear your damn mask.
I know my parish just passed like a law, like you have to, if a government official or like a police officer sees you without a mask, they can fine you up to $500. And I completely.
And they need to. They need to.
Because y'all know New Orleans, people want to go on bourbon and people want to have all these parties with their bounce music playing in the street. No.
Second lines.
And that's here
and
too.
Miss Elena over there,
right?
Having pool parties at Compound.
I'm like, a pool? Y'all ain't never did this before, and this is the time you want to have a pool?
You choose to do this in the middle of a pandemic. You choose to have hot bodies shaking booty.
It's like
right, and they were all at Edgewood at the bars and stuff, like just out crowded. Why are you doing that? Y'all don't want to go to work. We don't want to go to work. Stop doing all that. Y'all need to stay in the house. It's not over. How many times we got to tell y'all this? It's not over.
Exactly.
Stay in the house.
Not even close to being over. If we're keeping
it's getting worse.
Exactly.
Right. That's all the
worse.
To stay in your house. If you have to go somewhere, make it Walmart or Target, and then get back to your room.
And do curbside. Because I don't be going inside these stores. I order it and they bring it out to me. I'm not going in there. No.
That's on period.
Get in.
Mm-mm.
Actually, I had a second pop culture. I just want to get y'all's opinion. So, I'm sure y'all are both familiar with Tokyo Vanity. She's thinking. Have you seen Love and Hip Hop? She's like a rapper.
She's from New Orleans. She
rapper.
was buying
Yeah.
Okay, so over like the weekend, she made like a statement on her Instagram saying that she was single because she had this boyfriend. Also, I want to put all the facts. Tokyo Vanity made it a point, like it was a known fact that she was a virgin. We got into a relationship with this guy, and she expressed that she was no longer a virgin. She was in love, and she found her person. Now, over the weekend, she got on her Instagram and said that they were single, so there's no need to like send her stuff that he's doing. But then yesterday, I got on Instagram, and there was a picture of her now ex at a baby shower for his child. And if you
explains why they broke up.
If you know, you won't. But also how far along she is, I don't think that's how long they've been broken up.
So that's probably why they broke up. He was cheating. She found out that the girl was pregnant, and she was like, X-nay on the Isnay.
Right.
Or it could have been he was cheating. She knew he was cheating and then took him back for the cheating, but then found out as a result of that cheating, a baby came, and then she was like, oh no, I can't do that part.
Exactly.
I can't do that.
She could not have known at all until we all found out.
Yeah. Or
that's a possibility.
So she deleted like all of her Instagram. Like her Instagram has like 2 pictures on it. She also tweeted, sorry guys, with like a broken heart. And like her comments were filled with like, like what's going on? Like, do you need anything? Are you okay? And I feel, so here's where I pose my question. Tokyo's livelihood, I know for a fact, like a lot of that comes from her social media usage and things like that. So if it were you could you like cut off a part of your livelihood to like process everything going on, or are you better at keeping things like your personal and like your bread separate? Because I know some people, it's like their emotional strength, how they process things, it could be consuming.
Yeah. I'm gonna already tell you off the top, multiple times I've had to leave work because, okay, I ain't gonna say multiple times, but one time in particular, there was like a big thing at work that happened, and I had to leave. Like, I left early for the day because I could not do that. I couldn't handle it. And even when all the riots and all the sexual assault stuff was coming out, I had to take a day off too, because I was like, listen, I'm not even gonna play with y'all like this. I can't do nothing that y'all are asking me to do right now. So I need a break, and then I'll see y'all tomorrow or whenever I come back. So I already know off the top, I'm having to take, if it's something that extreme, I have to take a break and I have to take a step back and just gather myself, and then I can come back and just be regular.
I would say, I don't know, because I feel like that situation that's intense. So I can't, it's hard to speak specifically to that. But knowing me as a person, I think if I were so already vocal on social media and I know that this is my livelihood, I'd probably take maybe a few days or a day or something. But then I'll get right back to it. But I would know that from then on, I couldn't do, for me, I would set that boundary with social media. I'm not putting anything personal on there ever again, because that leaves too much room for people to come comment. Like what you said, like people were sending her stuff. Like if they're in a relationship or not, don't send me stuff about him out somewhere and be like, oh girl, where you at? Obviously not with him. Like he ain't in my pocket. Like God damn. Me doing my own thing. Like, why you gotta tell me? Like, okay, yes, I get maybe he was doing something there. Like, oh, aren't you guys in a relationship? But like, I always hate when people do that. Be like, oh, I saw whatchamacallit today, and it's like, okay, did you want a cookie? Because I saw him too when he came back. Like, I don't know what you. So yeah, that would be like my thing. I would just be like, X-nay on the S-nay. I ain't putting none of that on there no more. Y'all strictly gonna be here for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. I think me personally, like, I've of course been in situations like where I'm arguing like hard up with my man and I'm at work. What you about to say? What you trying to say? I can see you.
I'm just gonna say that you already did this.
Well, no, actually. Because, okay, well, we gonna put my business out there. Boom. So listen. I've been in a similar situation, not like 100%, but like 95%.
Yeah, close enough.
I'm gonna tell you what I did. Like, I got a message to my phone. My friend kept blowing me up. I was like, I'm about to take my final. It was my senior year of college. I was like, I'm about to take my final. I'll hit you up when I'm done. But she had already sent me the contents of the message. So she was like, oh snap, like I sent you this, but we go figure it out like when you get out of class, blah blah blah. I look at my phone, and I see my ex of 2 weeks at a baby shower smiling with a heavily pregnant girl. And my friend was like, Morgan, it's okay. Like, it might just be a picture. It might not be his child. Well, I was like, nah, that's his kid. And I asked her, what was the girl's name? And she told me the girl's name. And I was like, that's his kid, because I've heard this girl's name in my relationship before. So what did Morgan do? Let me tell you about me, sweetie. I had already been through too much my senior year, which we'll probably dive into in another episode. But for me to get to this point and like be at my finals, it was kind of just like, listen, we go process this after the final. Like you gotta, you gotta come.
You gotta finish this, yeah.
Like I wasn't just gonna leave. I can't make it up. Like it was like we go do this, and then we go process this when you finish. So I took my final, and then I called her, and I was just like, okay, this is what it is. This is what it is. So I sent it to my friends. I was like, this is what it is.
Yeah, I remember that
What's
day.
that? It
I
was
was
just
so shook.
because everyone knew I didn't break up with him because he was cheating. I had no idea. I just broke up with him because he was being a bad boyfriend. So for me to find out like all of this stuff after the fact.
Woo, child, talk about woo.
What a senior year. Like, honestly, my senior year of college just...
He would have had to see my fist because...
Would have, okay?
Let me tell you.
My friends literally wanted to ride out. Like,
yeah.
when
I was
I-
like, we ride out at dawn.
All right.
and I was like, and they were so serious. I was like, y'all, listen.
Extremely.
No.
And this all goes back to the prayer I prayed. I think I mentioned in the relationship goals episode how I prayed in like January before the relationship was even over to just be at peace, content, cool with whatever was going to happen to us. I was like, y'all, I prayed about it and I'm done with it. Like, it's a wrap. And my friends, that wasn't a good enough answer for them.
No,
I'll be
because I
honest.
wanted to slash tires.
I need
wanted to
answers.
throw rocks at
Right. That
windows.
wasn't a good enough answer for them.
I
but
needed
that's where I was.
timelines.
Yes, I need to know exactly what happened. How did your ass get here without me
I
knowing?
got my
What
answers,
the
I got my answers, but it was just because I hadn't spoken to him. Once we broke up, I didn't speak to him for like 6-7 months. And then I got my answers 6-7 months later. I had my questions prepared. I was like, there's going to come a day, he's going to get in contact with me, and I have questions. So they were already written down and prepared. I just didn't know when the conversation was going to happen. So when it came, I was like,
Boom.
what is that?
Let's skip over the small talk.
Right.
So
Was this when you had a sling on your arm, or what?
I remember we were breaking it down prior to the conversation. We were trying to figure out when and where.
We're like, all right,
I think we had figured out a timeline already. We were like, okay, it had to happen during this time because
Yeah,
no
we
way
literally sat there and did the math. Like, okay, so she's due next month. But we broke up 2 weeks ago, so when could this? Like, we were really trying to be little mathematicians and figure it out and put the pieces together. And one day we might could have a whole story time about this whole chaotic senior year, and I'm sure y'all will be entertained. But this episode is about the Black community. Well, we're Black, and I'm in the community, and that's my experience.
That is a horror story. You know?
Jordan Peele, write about it, please, because god damn.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Okay, Black to the Black community, child.
Right, so
Great.
we finished our little crane vent situation. Do you want to skip over speed swiping, or do you want to go to speed swiping? You want to tell the people what you're changing about.
Okay, this is my new idea. So the issue I have is on Bumble, you have to message the people first.
Yes.
I don't be knowing what to say or like what. So I just be like, I ain't getting on there. I ain't making no matches because I'm never gonna message them ever.
Okay.
So
Why you Bumble?
Exactly. But they just have a better quality of people. That's why. That's initially why. But I also haven't been on either. Okay. So I said, all right, before we record, I'll just get matches for right before we record, and then we can come on here and y'all just tell me what to say. And then when the next week comes, I can be like, oh no, or oh yeah, or whatever happened.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Okay. So I have 6, but I don't think I would have messaged all 6. So let me share the screen. How to share the screen?
I just want to tell y'all, I really do not like this girl. She only participates on the dating apps when she's on the podcast.
Who are you talking about?
You.
That's not true. That ain't true.
Every time you get on here,
sounding like to me.
Oh, I met with these people, but, or oh, I wanted to talk to this guy, but, like, girl. So it seemed like you only open these apps when you're talking to us.
Precisely.
Are you done or what? Are we gonna
or what?
Exactly. Are we? Okay, so here's the first person. Am I supposed to show the profile too?
Right.
Yeah, we need something.
All right, view profile. There's nothing on. That's another thing too. A lot of them don't be saying stuff on the profile.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
Law
like he
school.
didn't say anything. Yeah, he graduated from law school. I don't know what y'all want me to say about him. He just got a regular
Says he's
profile.
active. He's a
Love that.
Pisces. Looking for something casual. So I don't know if that changes your aspect.
Yeah, no.
And he's a voter.
Doesn't have kids.
Christian.
That's
Yeah,
important.
because I don't. If you got kids, that's an automatic no. I'm sorry. We already talked about this last time.
Okay. He doesn't
The
seem
full fit at the waterfall is a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. I cracked up at this picture too. I was like, okay, Mr. Photographer. Okay, but you see, like, there's nothing for me to say. So I'll be like,
say, hey,
ask him where that waterfall pic was taken, because
okay,
is that in Georgia?
Yeah.
I just can't seem to figure that one out.
Let's see. Hey.
Okay, take out the exclamation, please.
I didn't think that was bad, but I also type with exclamation
That was a
points.
bit much for me.
Okay, so say,
You could say,
hey,
what's up? Or,
what's up?
hey.
Question mark. Where was that waterfall? Where was that waterfall picture taken?
I could be like, I could take you
with
there.
the eyes.
If he says he can take me there, then I have to
Girl,
unmatch.
not so frequently used being unicorns. Good night.
No, that's not my frequently used.
That automatically pops up.
Yeah, I was like, that's always there. That's not my frequently used. My frequently used is right here.
Oh, she got a cross in there. Okay.
Okay, honey. Where's the eyes at? Here you go.
Right there.
Okay, that was one for today. We're done.
Girl,
that was just I am uncomfortable.
No,
oh my gosh.
All right, next. Let's see. Who is this? I think I messed with him because me and this nigga went to high school together. He was I just wanted to see. He was a grade older than us.
Oh my gosh. She was just trying to be nosy.
Yeah, I really was just trying to be. And he was in IB with me too. Let's see what this one is.
Nikolai.
30.
Nikolai.
Oh, never mind. I don't want to match him. 30's not that old. He
Girl,
looks like
in a 30-year-old, you said yes.
Yeah, I did. But I saw this. He looks like two different people in this one and this one.
He does look like two different people. Not even gonna lie.
That's what I was like. He looks like two different people.
It says he's in college.
Oh, never mind then. Ooh, see, this is why I need y'all.
Oh my god.
Let's see another one. Let's see what this says. Okay, Mark went to Southern in grad school. See, there's nothing to say.
These people suck.
I know.
Oh my god.
But I only did it for a couple of minutes, and then I was like, all right, we got 6 people. So
I'm just saying their profiles suck. Like, they need to do better.
Yeah. But this is like a lot of them. The one I'm gonna say it's a fine line. I would prefer them to not say anything to the ones who be doing the most on there. You know, they'd be like, and you just be like, oh, now I can't.
Looking for my beautiful black queen. I just want someone to love on and someone that can trust me. I need someone who's going to tell me my strengths and weaknesses. And I need someone who's going to kiss my feet.
We have to tell them about one of the guys that Demetra saw. I think it was on Tinder or maybe it was Bumble.
Oh my gosh. He was talking to
a girl that I follow on Twitter, matched with him. And when I tell y'all, he sent her a book before they even had like a real conversation about what he's doing in Georgia, what he likes, what he I was just like, she had to make a thread on Twitter because his message was that long.
Yes. And we knew it was him because of the story, the reason why he was in Georgia. He put that on his profile for display. And there's not very many people that have that same story. So it only led us to believe that it was the same guy.
And the way he was talking, you know it was the same guy.
Yes, exactly.
Demetra, tell this man, hey, what's up?
Okay.
She acting like it's the hardest thing in the world.
It
Mark.
is.
Mark with a Q.
I literally. I'm assuming that's not his
Or,
real
like,
name.
Marquise or something.
Hey, how's it going? Mark with a Q.
Okay, no.
I'm not feeling it. I'm not saying how's it going either.
I was just talking. I was just talking.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you play with the question game? Because hey, what's up gets boring.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I mean, I
I
can do
never
that,
say hey, what's
obviously.
up, because I don't even respond to people who just say hey.
Yeah, that's
be
what I
trying
was
to,
saying. I don't be messaging people back. When they said that to me, I just be like, all right, on to the
we'll
next.
do a question game
Yeah,
with
I
the
never
next
did
person.
that.
Who's next?
Who's
All right.
next?
Go.
I think we should. Let's do the one from my high school.
Okay.
His name is Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah, just real regular.
He went to KSU.
Really?
Okay. Who for a second I thought you said he had cancer. That's
I know
just
I
that.
a
did
sign.
when I first said that. When I first saw it, I thought he said he had.
I
Woo!
was like,
I was gonna be like,
that's a lot to handle.
Yeah, we're regular.
Mountains. What was the question?
If I had 3 wishes, I wish for immortality, the ability to teleport, and the ability to read minds. I don't want to be immortal ever for nothing.
And I don't want to read people's minds. I can tell you that much.
Why? So that you can hear them talking shit about you?
No, I just don't want to. I'd much. That's a slippery slope, my guy.
What the heck is this? Nightclub
What
or
is a
Netflix?
Crunchyroll?
It said crunchy,
that?
first of all, not country. I don't know what that is.
Crunchyroll. I don't know what that is. Sounds like sushi.
All right, we're gonna play the question game with him. Let's pick a question.
Yeah.
What's the question game?
Go
back. We'll go back to the messages.
Oh,
And it says question game. There you go.
question game. Continue to
Get to
question.
know Jordan. Ask a
Are
question. What are you
you?
thinking about
Okay,
after
getting
2 glasses of wine? Next.
That sounds like sex.
Exactly.
What's one wrong in the world that you like to right?
Gives me very Miss USA pageant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It
World
does.
hunger. Next.
Oh, what's something that you're really proud of? I don't like that one either. Or do y'all like that? You like that one?
That wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's like okay.
I feel like that's a good question. You kind of can gauge people's mindset. Like if it's something shallow, like saying like, "Oh my god," I don't know, just something you can kind of tell people's mindset. Yeah.
Or like, oh, I got this degree, or I bought this car. And you be like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'm gonna send it. Y'all liked it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Type your answer.
Oh,
Yep, sweetie. This ain't a one-way street, honey. This is a two-wayer.
girl, I was not anticipating that.
Come on.
Question.
Oh,
I
my
was not
God.
anticipating that. I didn't know she was going to answer it.
My goodness.
What is
What's
something that
you were proud of?
I'm good at everything.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
They didn't
gosh.
say what you're good at. They said, what's something you've done that you're
That
proud
you're
of?
Proud of.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself all the time because I'm good at everything.
Okay, well, I would never message you back if that was your answer.
I
I'd be like,
know.
this bitch is shallow. This bitch is conceited.
More
A
conceited than
degree,
shallow.
Buying a car, I don't know. Something.
I mean, I do have both.
Okay.
I've
Yeah,
done
maybe
both.
this isn't the right question for her.
Right.
Can we check? Oh man,
Oh,
you can't.
it's too late. Yeah, you're gonna have to figure something out. You're gonna have to figure something out, sister girl.
Say your degree or something, child.
But I'm not really that proud of that.
Well,
I don't
let's
know.
not lie.
I don't want it to be shallow, like my good looks. Like, come on.
Right. I'm good
Well,
at
I'm not proud of
everything.
that
I'd be like,
Girl, I think about something that after.
But you can be good at
Yeah.
everything
Come
without me,
back.
man.
All right, that was the first thing. That still made me a little bit uncomfortable. But as we work through it, I think I'll get better.
let's pray. Let's
I
pray.
freaking broke my
Please.
nail. Like I was over here freaking fidgeting and I broke my nail.
It's never that serious, man. Woo! all right, let's get on to the
Yeah,
topic
topic.
that we have today. So, as I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about the Black community, and we have a few little things we're going to be, pulling out. So, I'm going to give you guys a quick little run through. Let me pull it up. So, the things that we're going to be addressing within the Black community, we're going to be talking about, are we really as divisive as people say we are? Cough, cough, men say that we are. We're also going to be talking about colorism. We're also going to be talking about elitism/classism. And then lastly, or not in any particular order, we're going to be talking about sexism. So let's put our thinking caps on, everyone listening. Let's get our Dr. Umar on. Yes. Okay. And let's get to discussing.
Hey, to start this, I didn't want to put it in the pop culture thing because it was kind of relating to what we're talking about right now. So as you know, over the weekend, well, y'all might not know, but over the weekend, everybody in Atlanta was out. It was go time. They ain't have nothing else to do. They was like, "Whoo, it's the 4th of July, but we're not celebrating the 4th of July, but it's the 4th of July, and we ain't got nothing to do." So while everyone was out, people got shot. A lot of people got shot.
Oh, I knew you were going to talk about this.
Yes, it was a lot of gun violence. Some people died, including an 8-year-old. So Keisha and the 8-year-old parents, she had the 8-year-old parents, and Keisha Lance Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta, they got on TV and said, "I thought y'all said Black Lives Matter, but we over here killing each other. Black lives obviously don't matter because we can't focus on that until we start not killing our own." Pretty much a whole lot of black on black crime rhetoric. And Keisha went a step further and said that you Negroes can't blame the Atlanta Police Department for any of this because you niggers are the one killing people. The Atlanta police, she pulled the Shekinah and said the Atlanta Police Department ain't never did nothing to y'all. Y'all are the ones killing folks around here. And if we say Black Lives Matter, then black people can't get killed. Black people can't get shot. Black people can't commit crimes against other black people. That's what I was getting from that.
Yes, it's exactly the same thing I got from it when I listened to it too, and I immediately was annoyed. What? Because one, how stupid can you be to even make the comparison? And what the hell? You're supposed to be someone's mayor and you're making these comparisons. First of all, I think that's really disrespectful of her to bring that woman on there to spin her agenda. And I think that's really, that was out of line to begin with. You don't come on here, you don't these grieving parents on there to spin your rhetoric of APD, they're so cool. Like, I would have wanted to smack that with her nasty mac and cheese.
2 college students on TV last month because y'all was tasing and abusing them.
And do you think Miss Keisha said anything about that?
Okay.
Listen, Atlanta Police Department beats niggas' asses just like every other one.
Exactly.
Just like every other one. But what I don't understand is why people can't understand that the two are not mutually exclusive.
They are not.
I really wish they would get that. Black Lives Matter is not about, in general, Black death. Okay?
Exactly.
It's about us losing our lives at the hands of the people who are supposed to be protecting us. Okay? It's not every Black person dies. It's not a Black Lives Matter. Okay?
Right.
I just want her to understand that. And you would think with the education I presume she has,
I don't know what kind of education she
has as a government official leading a city, I'm very disappointed. And
highly.
I want her to do more research before she spits these fallacies because I'm over it.
Exactly.
and it just gives people like freaking them Brian Kemp. Yeah, it just gives those white people ammunition to come and be like, see, we told y'all niggas
exactly.
that all y'all
Mr.
do.
Farmer, exactly.
Right. We told y'all niggas. That's what he come up there telling. And then he's like, there's enough of this lawlessness going on in Atlanta if we're ready to work with the government officials and bring enforcement, and we're ready to do it without them. So what you telling me? Huh?
Excuse me?
I'm not feeling it.
Run that back one more time, Mr. Kemp.
Let me see if I can find the exact tweet. I'm gonna find the exact tweet.
Because
also, why are these people on Twitter?
Right?
Why are these government officials on Twitter? So WSB TV had posted the news article and was like, a 53-year-old man was shot and killed near the burned out Wendy's tonight, just 24 hours after an 8-year-old was killed yards away. So all this is happening around the same area where Rayshard Brooks got killed.
Mm-hmm.
So in response to that, WSB TV, Brian Kemp takes to his Twitter. And why is he on Twitter?
Get off.
Why?
Get off.
And take Trump with you. Get off of Twitter.
Exactly.
Leave us alone. Go do some real political work around here. Leave us alone.
Do your job.
Yes. So he says, this recent trend of lawlessness is outrageous and unacceptable. Georgians, including those in uniform, need to be protected from crime and violence. While we stand ready to assist local leaders in restoring peace and maintaining order, we won't hesitate to take action without them. So what I'm trying to understand is, how does one weekend of crime equal a trend of lawlessness? Because by no means, this is a crime and people should not be murdering other people. We get that. We understand that. And it's not about Black people shouldn't murder other Black people, but people should not murder. Period.
Exactly.
Especially the ones who take an oath to protect the very people that they're killing. Like, let's look at the facts here, okay? The Black people that's killing other Black people that are in the gangs and in the streets, what oath they took? They just live in the lifestyle that they unfortunately came into. But you went to a police academy, did training, took an oath, and made these promises to your community to protect these people at all costs, and you're killing them. So I would think, just with my logic and sense, that I would really rather focus on the people who have went through all of these tasks to gain the authority and to be put in the positions that they're put into, just to abuse it and become murderers. But it's cool because your police department didn't fire you. And it's cool because you're on paid leave.
Mm-hmm. And then if we're keeping it a buck, we're just gonna keep it real. They don't give a fuck. They do not care about these Black people dying. They're only using this as leverage against the whole Black Lives Matter movement. So because people have been dying in these parts of Atlanta for years. They've always been dying. They never came out and said I'm pretty sure there's been higher crime rates than there are now. They never came out and said all of this rah, rah, rah. They wasn't getting roddy rich with people on TV, but now all of a sudden, because you see Black people are trying to fight for social injustice, now you want to come out and be like, but Black people kill Black people. We need to stop this. Let's stop it. No, you don't care.
Every mass murder has been by y'all. Let's talk about it.
You're literally just trying to use this as an excuse for your little white hooded brothers to come around and saying, see, this is why Black people can't have nothing, because they're killing each other. You're giving them an argument. You're giving them a reason. You're giving them something to talk about. Like, they're going to use this. People who don't do research, or people who are not smart, people that are stupid, they're going to use this. See, you see what they're saying. You see what Governor Kemp said. You see,
and then even Keisha, all the Black people prior to all her response to the protests and this, everybody loved Keisha. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's a mayor in Atlanta. Her name Keisha," and all of this. So she was supposed to be for the people. She was supposed to be the person in the office for the people.
And now she Keisha Coonan.
Exactly. So, and it's just like, what is going on? And I think that's where it comes in with the people who, the classism pretty much in Atlanta. She is a different type of Black. She has a different Black experience than what all the other Black people in Atlanta have. She has
Very
experience of T.I. She has the experience of Killer Mike. Although they didn't, they came from the regular experience. Yes. Now they don't know what's happening now. They buying up they land in Stockbridge or wherever the hell else they live that's not in the city of Atlanta. They're not doing anything for the actual city of Atlanta and acting like it's all good in the hood because she said, I laugh every time they say Wakanda.
My nigga, huh?
Wakanda is fake.
Like, please shut that down ASAP. Cause no.
And even did y'all watch Aaliyah's face last video? Because I thought she said something. It wasn't funny, but she was saying how she's moving out of her high-rise apartment and how because it's trapped out.
Yeah, trapped the hell out.
That is an expensive apartment. And it's the same shit that's happening in the ghetto. Doors getting kicked in, neighbors fighting, all that regular shit. It's the same thing. Atlanta is not some special place for Black people. It's not some utopian Black place where everybody can live and get money and live comfortably. No. Do you know how many homeless people are in Atlanta just on the side of the road everywhere?
Exactly. But Wakanda.
Yeah.
You know? But like you said, it feeds into the classism. And I feel like Atlanta is that's an easy way to, like, you can point it out because there are a lot of Black people and there are a lot of Black people on different ends of the spectrum. They're the very poor, the very quote unquote ghetto, hood, you know, all that. And then you have the very rich, the elite, or whatever you want to call them. So that's probably, if you hear us always talking about Atlanta, that's why, because that's one city where you can tell, like, it comes out. Someone that's supposed to be the mayor is over condemning people about the things that they're doing. And the only reason why they're doing the things that they're doing is based off of systemic racism. The only reason why they're doing things that they're doing is based off of gentrification. The only reason why they're doing things that they're doing is because they were once told to get out of the suburbs, come to the city. They made the city the ghetto. They made it the hood. Now they're telling them, go away, go back to the burbs. By the way, we're not extending MARTA, so I don't know how you're going to get to where you need to go, but you can figure that out yourself. There's things like that. There's food deserts. There's a multitude of things, and you have the nerve. You have the audacity to get on TV and yell at me like you're my mother and tell me that we need to stop doing this. Because Atlanta PD has never done anything to me. They don't got to do anything to me, but they have done things to other people. And it's quite clear that they don't give a fuck, and neither do you, Miss Keisha. So you can shut the hell up. You and the police chief, y'all both need to go somewhere.
Miss Bottom of the Barrel.
Peace.
Yeah. I was just saying, I don't get it.
Okay. So we're all chocolate. So this colorism thing, listen. Because which doll? There's so many dolls. One of the dolls was on Twitter talking about, like, something about dark girls and light-skinned girls. Or how I noticed, like, maybe a few weeks ago, people were talking about, like, the plight of the more melanated woman. And the light-skins were upset. And it was kind of like Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter type of thing. And it's like, girl, this is not your fight.
It's not.
And
this is not.
I just think, listen, they will never understand. And even me personally, I think I'm the only one on here who has, like, an actual light-skinned mother. Like, my mom is red with freckles, okay? She will never understand my, I don't want to say, like, hardship, but, like, my experience as darker. Like, I mean, I'm not the darkest in the bunch, but I'm chocolate, and that does affect things. And I just want to know, why are people in denial that colorism?
Yes.
It's
like, and they be trying so hard to act like it does not exist. And I don't know if it's because people don't want to acknowledge it. because they're ashamed of how it is in our community. But it's like, we just got to keep it a buck. It's here. It's well and alive. And the more we don't try to hide it or throw it under the rug or put it in the basement, it's okay. We can have these conversations. We can address it, because celebrities that people look up to, like Mr. 50 Cent and Mr. Five Dreads Lil Wayne, that everybody says is their favorite rapper, are out here having discussions saying they like exotic women. And if a Black woman says something about you wanting to have an exotic woman, they're automatically an angry Black woman.
Right. And one thing I want to say, why people don't want to talk about it is because they were the ones perpetuating it. They were the ones doing all these things to the darker skinned girls that they grew up around. Because listen, for the most part, most people know somebody who is dark skinned, and they probably know that they have said or done something to them.
Exactly. Called them an African booty scratcher, said, oh, the lights are off, I can't see you. Like,
even something as little as that. And I can say I am dark skinned, but I have done something. Because in Florida, it used to be a bad thing to be Haitian. You know, and I think it comes from the color of their skin too. If somebody was like, oh, you're Haitian, that was an insult. And I know I called somebody a Haitian as an insult when I was in elementary school. I didn't like, now it's cool to be a Haitian, but back then it was not cool to be a Haitian. It was an insult. So even stuff like that is just like, you can admit that you've done those things. Until you admit that you've done those things and that you used to believe, I'm going to think you still believe it.
Exactly. Yeah. I think when I notice the denial of colorism, it is usually from lighter skinned people. And I think it's because, like, to some degree, they measure their their ability to identify with the Black community in the struggles that we all share. And it's like, if we acknowledge that you're privileged in some type of way over another group of Black people, then it's like, no, it's hard too. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we never said you don't have no problems, but if you really want to get into it, like, you're more likely to get a job.
Okay. And also, stop coming to the defense.
Because of the color of your skin. It is not to say you don't have your own plights and hardships, but
you do not have.
We're not the same.
Yeah. And a lot of them put their self-esteem into their skin color, because a lot of times when there's like, oh, colorism against light-skinned people exists too, and they come say, I was bullied by a dark-skinned Black, ugly Black. Queen Naja, prime example.
Oh, girl.
There was an old video of her in no, she was like, I mean, not to be rude, but it was when I was getting bullied, it was by nappy-headed Black girls, like Black girls with nappy hair or something. Like, she specifically pointed out their hair too. And so I'm just like, girl, excuse me? What? Nobody.
Miss Eggplant for a nose. I know you are not talking.
Like, y'all are not, I ain't gonna say no everybody, but most of the time y'all are not picked on because you're light skinned with long hair. You're picked on because you think that you're cute because you have light skin and long hair.
Exactly.
Treated differently, and it's going to your head.
And
then when you get around a group of chocolate or highly melanated girls and you start acting like your stuff don't stink, then we gonna have to bring that.
We're gonna bring you down because Miss Ma'am. No. Like, no, thank you. It's not how that works around here. Exactly. And I really don't like how people try to, kind of like how Morgan said, they put their they use their color as a struggle. They automatically think that a way to identify with being Black is having a struggle. And it's just like, why is that your first thought of the Black experience? Yes, we have dealt with a lot of struggles and traumatic experiences. I'm not taking that away. I mean, we built this damn country and we ain't got shit out of it. I'm not saying anything against that. But also all of the good things, all of the great things that have come out of being Black. The first thing you think of should not be, oh my gosh, yes, same girl, like I be dealing with the same thing. Oh, you say I'm light skinned? I what do you mean? Like, I have the same problems. People call me Black too. Like, what do you mean? They all think we're Black. It's like, no, Like, yeah, you're still Black, but like the first thing should not be something negative when it comes to Black experience. And if you don't have the same negative experience as me, you shouldn't automatically think that I'm saying you're not Black because you think being Black and having a struggle is synonymous. They are not. Like, please.
Do y'all remember that? I sent it to y'all a while ago, and it was that rapper girl. I think her name is also Tokyo. I sent it on Twitter, and pretty much she was talking about.
Yeah, that's
what
what
you're
talking
about. I don't know.
I don't know. That's who you're talking about.
Tokyo. Whatever her name. I think it just might be Tokyo. Tokyo Jets.
Tokyo. Okay. And see, even still, me personally, if somebody, first of all, he was a dark-skinned man. First of all, let's stop. So I know his mama probably Black, a nice dark-skinned lady. So for me, as a dark-skinned woman, when someone tells me I'm an acceptable dark-skinned, I'm an acceptable type of Black person, and I'm not that bad, and my kids aren't going to be dark-skinned because you're not dark-skinned. I would not have been able to continue to talk to him. That's not something I would have been able to do. That would have had to been a line drawn for me. But I was like, why was she talking to him for so long?
She was still talking.
He was saying that things. Why were you still engaging in a relationship with him?
And trying to tell him, and then she was under the guise of like, she was trying to saying like, I was saying like that's he's wrong for that, like blah blah blah. But then she ended the thread off saying, I'm still that y'all might see a video of me sucking his dick.
Huh? Yeah. After all of that, he pretty much told you, which I don't know if he doesn't know how genes work, but he can still have a nice dark baby. I don't care how light his bitch get. He can get a baby Black as the asphalt outside. Exactly. He can get that much. And those are the type of people around here having kids, and it's just like you're ruining them before they can even enter the world and be able to do anything.
You should not be able to procreate at this point because you're creating more babies, I think, like that, and we're screwed if that's the case.
I just want better for him. I want him to appreciate the essence. Like, we are the most bomb group of people. Okay, we can do it all. Period. We're multifaceted. We're gifted. It's in our biology. Okay, so for you to really sit here and not want to create more beautiful Black children because you're afraid that they're not gonna pass the paper bag test, that they're not gonna be placé blanc.
Right.
Hang it up, flat screen.
Please.
And when you think about it, colorism, never mind. I was gonna say it affects Black men, but not in the same way that it affects Black women. Like with Black men, I feel like it's when they're dark skinned, they're scarier, monster. But with dark skinned girls, they get that too, the whole loud ghetto Black girl stigma automatically, and then they get the and you ugly on top of all of that. Because when you think about it, now dark skinned girls are in, but before it wasn't. Dark skinned niggas used to always be in.
Exactly. We always thought they were fine.
I don't know. Like I don't remember a time when they wasn't.
Morris Chestnut back in the 90s.
Exactly. Yeah. Tay Diggs.
And it's like I feel like I'm not necessarily like. I feel like I'm in the middle, but leaning more towards chocolate or like darker. And I feel like people like around my skin tone and lighter, that was like the darkest it could be. But like the Ducky, it's a controversial thing with her last name. It's either Thought or Tot, one of them.
I thought it was Thought.
Yeah, I thought it was Thought.
I thought it was Thought.
Somebody said, because I think she's something, her nationality or whatever they pronounce it, Thought or Tot. I feel like she wouldn't be popping in 2000 or 2000.
She would not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I feel like the only reason we've gotten to this place is because Black people have kept perpetuating the narrative that Black is beautiful. And although it does sound sometimes cringy and sometimes corny, hearing that over and over again, and then seeing representation, and then seeing how a really Black chocolate, fully melanated woman on the cover of Vogue or being made into like Barbie prototypes and stuff like that. Like, we have to see that, and our kids have to see that to realize you really can do this. And I feel like we're just now getting to the point where it's a mainstream, you know, consensus that you can be dark and you can be pretty. Now, I wish that the men could kind of catch up with that. Also, I just feel like the only time I usually see men appreciating or admiring a really dark woman is when she looks a certain way. When she's a ducky, or when she has an Instagram model body. What's the
Yeah, like
Bria.
Cash
What's that
Doll.
girl's?
Yeah,
Bria
Miles.
Miles.
I was going Bria Miles, Cash Doll.
Where they're overly sexualized. That's when dark black women are appreciated. When they're overly sexualized, they're greased up, they got
it's never like
titties
a
and ass
normal
out.
Black girl.
Yeah,
it's never, or even when it comes to like plus size representation, I never see a really dark skinned plus size girl being represented. I've never seen it.
I think the darkest I've seen is Takara from
probably, and she's not even plus size if we be
exactly.
She's
honestly
regular American size.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
For me, that's the big deal. It's like when I'm on shopping sites, I never see a dark skinned plus size girl. It's always a mixed chick or light skin. I really don't even see brown skin, really, honestly. And that's just the tea.
Okay, I want to go back to something because Morgan, not colorism, what we were talking about is elitism. I don't know if we talked about. I would say we didn't. But Morgan, you had an incident, and we were trying to explain to you how what you were saying was elitist. And I don't know if you were if you just closed your ears and were like,
no, I didn't close my ears. I got
like you did.
Twitter altercation. LSU and Southern were going back and forth on the TL over some scandal. Actually, Tasia talked about it a few podcast episodes ago when a white prospective student said something.
I hate niggers.
Yeah. And LSU's like first response to that wasn't, up to
but we expected it. Yes.
Yeah. So there were LSU students on the TL like explaining their dissatisfaction, and then Southern students also doing the same. Here's my issue, right? My issue is more with the Southern students, not necessarily Southern and HBCUs. Because my argument was like, y'all always coming on y'all horses every single time. And it's just like, there's so many other things. You could be working on.
And I get that. So what she says, what did you say specifically? You were like, I don't remember what she said specifically.
Was getting into an altercation with some guy. I came into the conversation, but I did not mention him. I mentioned her. And I was just like, I think they were going back and forth about, because he was like, well, why not just transfer?
He was being stupid. Yeah. So essentially some guy on the timeline that got a degree from Southern, but is now at LSU, but we're not going to speak on that. He basically tweeted, my HBCU would never. And he was like, y'all could just transfer. So everybody was like, well, will you? Because Mr. Bowtie, you're getting a degree from Miss LSU. So what's the real tea? And he was like, oh, I could. And everybody's like, no, but will you? So then I tweeted, I said, that was dumb as hell to say people could just transfer, because honestly, I think that's very dense of someone to, it's basically like when white people say, oh, just go back to Africa. Like, it's not that black and white. Like, come on, let's be smart here. That's not how things are going to go. And I was like, you can't, I was like, that's just dumb as hell. Are you going to pay for them to go to school? So this other guy, I don't even remember his name, came on and was like, oh, y'all must be using Monopoly money over there. You can't use the same money at a different school. And I was like, well, Mr. Wise Guy, a lot of people are on scholarships. So what's your point? I was like, you mustn't think about that. And he was like, oh, they don't have scholarships at Southern? I said, do your scholarships automatically transfer? Like, come on, let's stop being stupid here. Like, you get a scholarship at one school, you can't just transfer and that scholarship comes with you because you got that scholarship from that school. You're not just going to be taking, like, oh, thanks LSU for giving me this money. I'm going to take your money and go to Southern with it. Like, that's not how things work.
Let's use our
And
brains.
Exactly. And he was just going back and forth about that, talking about financial aid. I'm like, I think that's really stupid I didn't say stupid. I was like, I think that's just not very smart to depend on financial aid because, as we all know, financial aid is extremely skewed. It looks at your household income, but it does not take into the fact that people have other children. People are not only paying for school, they have other things to pay for. So you say, oh, this is why fast food is just not how things go. And he called me a coon. And then that's when Morgan came and that's when she said her spiel. I'm trying to find the tweet.
Yeah. At first, I just came in like laughing with her. And I didn't mention him at all. And then he mentioned the both of us. And he said something like, should be tired of being a coon. Or something like that. So I was just like, okay, listen. I feel the premise of my tweet was just like, there are other things that you can be putting your efforts towards, such as, and I think I talked about the financial aid office and like, I don't know, building a better campus or something like that, instead of worrying about what we're doing over here. Like, we're good, thank you. And he called me a coon. So my question, not even a question, but it's just like, here's my thing. If I went to Southern, if I was a Southern student and I said that, no one would care. But because I go to a PWI, I can't make assessments or judgments on an HBCU, and that bothers me.
Hold on, I pulled up the tweet.
Okay.
So Morgan came in, she was laughing at what I said, and I said, LMAO, sister, I'm sick of it. He replies, you should be sick of being a coon. He was talking to me, but he also mentioned Morgan in it. So then Morgan says, right, is it? I think your efforts and energy are better suited trying to improve the lack of resources and organization at your own institution. Maybe start a petition for a useful financial aid office or even better buildings. We're good. That was cute, though. His reply was, the coon just popped out and confirmed everything I needed to know.
Right. So,
actually, part of my statement I said because at one point I was talking to a guy and he works at Southern, and we talked about that. We talked about the lack of resources, the messed up financial aid office, the subpar campus buildings, all that stuff. And he asked, I was like, well, what do you plan to do about it? And he was like, well, it takes effort, like starting a petition, blah, blah, blah. So I put that in the Twitter. I was like, boom, start a petition. And I was commenting on things. And here's where, like, I feel like there was a disconnect. I feel like a lot of people took my tweet to him and then put that as my opinion on HBCUs in general, when I'm speaking directly to you about your specific school, because y'all get on here every year and make jokes about y'all financial aid office, and y'all make jokes about your campus, but I can't say nothing.
You can't. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, black people can say this, but white people can't say that, because then it's not funny. So when you use that as an argument,
that's the point. I was very serious.
I know, but it's still, when you use that as an argument, it, without acknowledging that those issues came about because of systematic racism, you can't use that as an argument against them.
It's essentially like when you say, no one can talk about my brother except for me. Kind of
right. Attributed to systematic racism. Like, being unorganized is not racism.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Because
they don't have the
LSU's
resources.
they don't have the
It's
resources.
not about resources. I just mean literal organization in your office.
Yeah, they can't afford those things.
Down.
They're using paper. They're literally using paper and pencil formats because they don't have the money or the resources to have things like LSU. Like when they do housing, I've seen people like my friends that went to Tuskegee. When they did housing, they had to stand in a line for hours to go to a person to get their housing. They didn't have the luxury like we did, where we would complain about how the website would go down, but we would be able to go on our little laptops, type in, let the little thing load, may say it's over capacity for a couple of times. We get in, go and put somebody's email in that we want to be the roommate. We click a button and we're in. At the most, it'll take 30 minutes. We did not have that experience of having to wait hours standing in the line with a paper saying, this is where I want to live. And then possibly getting up there and they're saying, oh, sorry, it's full. We simply just did not have that experience. Yeah. So that's why we're saying like, and that was perpetuating elitism. Like when people say how people that go to Howard are all these illustrious private HBCUs, how they perpetuate this whole frou-frou-la-la-ness in comparison to other HBCUs, that's essentially what it was giving off. Well, that might not have been your intention, but it is exactly what it was giving off.
It was just like, y'all are literally always at LSU's neck, and it's like there are so many things that y'all could be working on, even outside of building a better campus or getting organized. Like, I know me and Tasia have a friend, Chris, who made the point that, like, y'all were getting on us about, like, this, racist kid or whatever, and wanted him to be like immediately expelled, which we stand with and agreed with. But he was like, I've seen many Southern students get on here and bash homosexual and transgender people, but I bet Southern isn't going to kick them out for that. And that's a valid point. So I feel like there's just so many things like outside of the things I mentioned that y'all literally can be working on instead of always running in on y'all horses.
Okay.
And I agree with that.
Yeah. I'll say I do agree. I feel like I wholeheartedly agree with what Chris said. And the reason why I say that is because I agree with it because the way Southern students came, they act as if we just get called niggers all day, every day, and we allow it.
Mm-hmm. Like we have a horrible experience.
And that's not the case. And they were telling us that, oh, see, this is why you don't need to go to LSU. You need to come on over here to Southern. And Chris's rebuttal was like, okay, we may not be dealing with races, but we are going to be dealing with homophobia. And if you want to tell us how, since we're always being called niggers every day, you need to worry about the people that come on here and dropping F-bombs and calling transgender women men and they know that they're not men, that kind of thing. So I see where he was going with that. And you see the reason why
that's an equal response.
Equal. Yes.
Yeah, that's an equal response. That's what I'm saying. Specifically what you said, it was a problem that they can't fix immediately, and it was a problem that they didn't cause. They didn't create that. But
I'm just saying you can work towards the change. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
understand that
handedly could fix all the problems, but
that wasn't an equal response to what they're saying. The homophobia and transphobia was more of an equal response to that because like you just have to realize they don't have the resources. It is what it is. They don't have it because of racist white people. So you just have to recognize that.
I understood y'all's view the day it happened. Like, it wasn't that. I just had my views of like, why can't I, like, because I'm Black and because I went to a PWI, I can't say
precisely.
That's exactly what it is. I'm going to say it's because you went to a PWI. Sorry.
Exactly.
It may not be fair, but like I said earlier, it's like when we say nobody can talk about my sibling except me. Like, yeah, I can say my little brother is stupid, but the minute someone comes over here trying to bully or say something out the side of their neck about my little brother, oh, we throw our hands. I don't care if you're 10. You get these hands, period. I don't care who you are. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I understand y'all's view. I just wish that, I probably could have communicated my view better. And I also just wanted them to realize that they are always attacking our experience and trying to make it seem like
Yeah.
They feel like we are in like the 1960s at LSU. I
Yeah.
had an incredible experience. I never
And speaking
came across any racial issues whatsoever.
and I'm gonna stop you and speak on that. Just because you haven't, because you did say that to us too, that you don't know anybody who had a negative experience, you don't know any of that. But just because you have never come across that, or just because you and your friends don't know that, you can't just say that's not the Black community's experience. Because me personally, I went to UGA, yeah, and there was never like any direct racism towards me. But I remember when Yik Yak was out and they asked us why we were there was an alpha probate my freshman year, and I remember they were like, why are all these Black people outside? Is somebody selling watermelon and chicken? It wasn't directly to me, but that was an example.
They were doing stuff like that at LSU too. Yeah.
I can't sit here and say no one at UJ has ever experienced any sort of racism. That does not exist. Just because me personally, nobody came up to me and called me a nigger. Nobody did
I'm
that.
not saying it doesn't exist, but I think it's not as if it's like an overlying.
But it is
for the Black
community.
though.
But it is.
But
just because you didn't surround yourself, you did not surround yourself with that kind of people.
Publicized, don't you think?
No,
it was very publicized. Honestly, Yik Yak, all the Black people were on Black LSU talking about Yik Yak. You remember when I think it was Alliance to Serve Yours? She was she wrote editorials for LSU Reveille, and the white grown ass men were on this thing called Tiger Droppings, basically calling her a nigger and saying, why is this Black girl writing all these think pieces about this and that? Like that's someone I would say that was rather close to our experience. She was the same year as us and all that stuff. There was at one point we thought there was a noose hanging from a tree. It turned out to be just electrical wiring, but still there were things that were going on. It was not 100% peaches and creams. There was a lot of things going on. We had some racist man come on our campus and have a rally, and all those white people on Fraternity Row went to that. I cannot remember that man's name. He's like a very popular, he has like maybe like a talk show or something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And he came, he had his whole bus and everything. He was there. So like these things were very prevalent during our time. I personally, I can't think of at the top of my head something like very direct, but I know it was there. And I'm pretty sure there were some indirect things that happened. And I was like, the hell? So,
exactly. And when you think about it, who did you surround yourself with? How many white friends from college do you have?
Are you really asking me?
Yes.
I mean, not like bunches and loads. Well,
exactly.
I would say not friends.
And see, and even so, based on just the statistics, you should have a lot of white friends because that's mostly who you're around. But you didn't surround yourself with those kind of people. And that's once again why you did not experience that, because you were not around them. You did not put yourself in a position to where they had to say something to you, or you would hear them say anything. Because if you did, I've been to a few white frat parties and immediately wanted to leave. And immediately did leave. If I can bet every time I have a lot of those stories. Every time I put myself in a white space, I saw some type of racism from UGA. I can say that I don't have any white
Tigerland at LSU is a prime example.
Yeah, I wasn't really Tigerland like that, to be honest. Maybe a few times, like my whole college career.
Yeah, so that you also have to take into account that you didn't surround yourself with white people to give them the space to be able for you to experience that. So you can't say.
Totally agree. I agree with you.
Yeah, so you can't say it's not the overarching thing because it is. I know. I
just personally feel like if it was, how can I say, like if it was majority of people's experiences of like coming to LSU and just feeling so unwelcomed and like not finding a space that's right for them. When I've seen Black people come on LSU's campus and make spaces for themselves and excel and do well and have positive experiences, like.
And that's what they had to do. They had to make their own space. And I want you to bet that white people have tried to take those spaces away. Because at UGA,
they went to a, oh, sorry.
Oh, so I was going to say, we have like a space called Tape Time where all the Black people hang out in the area of the student center. And do you know how many people wanted to get that shut down? Because they said it was racist and only Black people can be there. So I know for a fact that's happened there. Just because you didn't see it, just because you didn't see, you didn't know, you weren't aware, your Blackness and the crime against the fight against it, that is an overarching thing at every Black student's experience at a PWI. And if they lie, if they say they don't, they either don't know about it or they're lying.
Mm-hmm. And I would say, I remember specifically at LSU, some white girl went on, I want to say it was Facebook, saying, oh, why is there a thing called Black Student Union? That's racist. That we don't see us having something called the White Student Union. I think we should start that. And that started this whole thing. We had like this Instagram page called Being Black at LSU or something like that. We did an entire blackout. We were on the quad. We were blacked out. We were speaking about all of the things that we had faced while being Black at LSU. You know, all these kind of things. So these things were happening. Like, homegirl was over here talking about some white student union. Like, excuse me?
That's regular student union. What are y'all talking about?
Like,
I just don't like the argument. I agree with both of y'all. I just don't like the argument that I see a lot with the choices that PWI students have made. It's kind of just like, let us make our choice and just let it be. Like, I've seen so many HBCU students like attack a PWI student or, you know, say something slick about them making the choice that they made. And it's like, just let that person make their choice and get their degree wherever they see fit. Like, it doesn't have to be a debate every 6 months.
that would be nice.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. Just like, literally, I'll let y'all be, let me be. That's it. Period.
So
Too much like, right, sister?
just don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Just don't take it personal. So we done here today?
Yes. So. This was such a thought-provoking conversation.
Enlightening conversation.
Do you have to pee?
I do, actually.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, she is jumping.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I was over here drinking an energy drink.
Yeah.
But yes, so that is going to be the end of this episode. I hope you all did enjoy. Make sure you leave a comment on the Instagram's episode announcement and, you know, let us know your thoughts about everything. You know, we're going to continue this conversation. This isn't going to be a one and done kind of thing. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Not That Complicated Pod. You can also follow me at SeauxTasia, SEAUX Tasia. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel that is all in the all in the bio of our podcast Instagram. So do that.
Yes, sir. And me at MOASHCO on all social media handles, period.
And me at Jamitra, 2 underscores then Jamitra first.
Girl.
JAMETRA.
2
underscores first. All right. Well, we'll talk to y'all next week. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.